Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph L. Williams, Senior Pastor of Salem Bible Church, Atlanta and Lithonia. This is a message that is specifically for all preachers, pastors, lead pastors, senior pastors of ministries all over the country and even all over the world. This is a very, very difficult conversation to have. And it's difficult because of the lives that we as pastors and preachers lost in 2017. We had 3 deaths, sudden deaths of men of God, co-laborers of the gospel who died suddenly without any issues. When you looked at them, they looked healthy, they looked fine. And we had 3 pastors to suddenly die under the age of 40, and 2 of them were under the age of 35. If it wasn't sudden death, we all heard of stories of pastors having strokes and other illnesses that mitigated their ability to carry out the assignment that God has given them. Now, as a pastor, I know the weight of what it feels like to be a pastor. You're having to preach every Sunday. You're having to do Bible study. You're taking revivals. You're speaking at conferences. You're taking the weight of your parishioners. People are always calling you about not having enough money, about this person being sick, about that person dying. The stress and the weight of being a pastor is just overwhelming at times. And the reason why that can be problematic is if you are in a stressful position like that and your health isn't optimal, then these are the types of stories that we see. Sudden death, strokes, heart attacks. Now, I'm no medical examiner, and I'm not sitting here telling you why any of those individuals either died or had strokes. But what I do know is when you don't take care of yourself in terms of how you eat, how you live, how you care for this temple, those are the types of things that can happen. And sometimes you have to wonder if those individuals knew of their health, and if they knew how to take care of themselves, if they knew how to eat, if they knew how to live to optimize their health, perhaps they would still be here with us today. Well, I'm talking to someone, some pastor, some man of God, some woman of God who could potentially avoid something happening to your life. Now, I don't know when I'm going to have a meeting with death, and you don't either. But we can do something. We can maximize our knowledge and our awareness, and to be certain that whenever that meeting comes, that it's as far away as possible, or it's something that we could do to not mitigate the assignment that God has given us. Because if we don't optimize this vessel, this temple that God has for us, then we're not going to be used to our fullest potential. Not only am I a pastor, but I am a certified nutritionist and a holistic doctor. I lost over 130 pounds. I was pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, hypertensive, arthritis. I was like the typical American. I was walking down the pathway and the road of early death or living some life where I was on medication for the rest of my life. About 6 years ago, I started something called The Journey. I've taken thousands of people all over this country through this process. And God has moved me to stop what I've been doing over the last 6 years and focus strictly on pastors, preachers of the gospel. I want to take what we've been able to do, reversing people who were hypertensive. We've normalized blood pressure in days in many instances. We've reversed people who were diabetics. We've taken people who are on 3, 4, 5 different medications and got them either off of medication or to where they're only on 1 or 2, going and moving down the road of being drug-free in their lives, teaching them how to eat, how to live. I've had instances to where people have lost 40 pounds in less than 40 days. And I want to take all of the knowledge, all of my awareness, all of my training, and I want to focus in on preachers of the gospel. I want to invite you all to come to Atlanta for a 2-day conference. We've got 2 campuses, but this particular conference is going to be hosted at our Salem Bible Church Atlanta campus. You're going to come in with me. I'm going to share the entire program with you. I'm going to orientate you. when you go back to your respective cities, you're going to take your staff members or people in your church, up to 10 people per group. So if we've got 100 to 150 pastors, that's going to be the cap. If each of those groups have up to 10 persons in each group, that means that we're going to be touching the lives of more than 1,500 people. I want to invite you to come down to this particular conference. It's going to change your life. And I guarantee you that you're going to preach better. You're going to feel better than you've ever felt. And you're going to see your life and your legacy be multiplied instantly. I've done this with people all over the country, and I'm focusing in on preachers of the gospel. You may be wondering, well, what are going to be the times? We're going to work all of those things out, all the logistics, the timing, when, where. I want to be certain that it's at a time when the vast majority of us can be a part of that. So what I'm asking of you now is to migrate over to a closed Facebook group called the Brotherhood. And to my sisters, we're not excluding you. That's just ecclesiastical jargon. All of us are a part of this fraternity. Doesn't matter what your gender is. I want you to migrate over to the information that's on your screen, request to be a part of it, to where we can keep everyone in a group, and all of our updates will be made in that group called the Brotherhood. We'll have dates, times, different videos, different interactions. But when we come to this particular conference, not only is there going to be information about taking you through this process when you go back to your ministries and your churches, the world's greatest transformative process, but we're going to have opportunities for us to fellowship with one another and preaching. We need to be revived as well. So I'm excited about this. I'm so saddened about the lives that we lost in 2017. But this is something that we can do together and collectively. God has called me to do this. I put everything else on hold because I'm going to use all of my gifts, talents to focus in on preachers of the gospel. If you want more information about me, you can research me at salembiblechurch.org. You can go to my website, About the Journey, at formyjourney.com. You'll see the information there. And please, sir, please, ma'am, if you want more information about this conference, when we're doing it, and how you can be a part, to be certain that you reserve your seat, because we have to cap it at 150, migrate over to that closed Facebook group, and all the information is on your screen. Thank you for taking the time to view this, and I look forward to meeting and speaking with each of you. Until that time, be blessed.